Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening. We're about to rip a big dog. We need 2 people to fill this $500 best ball draft. A cool $200,000 up top to first. I've done 6 big dogs. 5 of them have been streamed. Looks like we did one May 30th, the 20th, the 27th of June, 2 in July. We're getting our first in August here. We did one in June that Fantasy Flock was streaming himself. Format for this bad boy, $500. You got to beat 10 people to make the quarterfinals. Then you got to go 1 out of 6, 1 out of 6 to make a 10-person final. $10,000 min cash if you make the finals. $200,000 to first. Still need 2 people for this. 2 people for this big dog. If you missed it, push through fresh rankings for Underdog and DraftKings this afternoon. Also, pushed out a pre-recorded video of me drafting a Best Ball Mania team. Going to be trying to do some more pre-recorded videos, appeal to the more normal crowd. So go interact with that video after this stream. Like, comment, little trick of the trade. I got CMC and then Puka in that for that team. CMC and Puka Nakua. I almost went Puka Nakua in the first. Insane. Do you keep Josh Allen or Derrick Henry in a keeper league? Kind of depends what's the scarcest resource there. What are the other people keeping? What draft pick do you have to sacrifice? Am I close to maxing drafters? Not really. Gotta save that one won't fill, so that's the one I'm gonna do last. Looks like we need 1 brave soul for this big dog. Let's rip off some Eliminator slows while we're at it. Bucky, Ken Walker, Nico, Big Mike, Travis Hunter. Yeah. CMC, Bucky, Harvey, T. Adams. Let's do Rizzy P. Get that week 14 bye. These are Eliminator slows. Bijan T. Bowers, Travion Henderson. Why not? Gibbs, Ladd T. Tet. Let's go James Conner. It is a double week 8 bye, but you got to be willing to lose to make some good teams sometimes. My God, we're on the clock again in an Eliminator. Nico, London, Big Mike. Let's do Ken Walker this time. Let's see. Where the big dogs at? Looks like it filled. Boom. Boom. Why does this keep happening? Pick 11. Let's get it. Drafters, going to have updated rankings for them probably tomorrow, so we'll save a drafters draft for then. Probably just going to do a big dog and cut it. The $500 drafts. Don't want to make the stream usually as long. You know, I'll try to get the max interaction off of this. I did do a pre-recorded video as well. People are liking the pre-recorded video. Make sure you join my Discord if you want to be notified when I go live. Lord knows Twitter doesn't help on that. You got to sacrifice your first for Henry or your third for Allen. Yeah, I mean, you ain't sacrificing your first round pick to keep Derrick Henry, in my opinion. You gonna be greedy like this? Banned. No. I give out far more than this in equity in just the takes and just me streaming thousands of drafts. My God. Justin, Fish tendencies. Would not call him a shark. Tends to, he used to auto draft all his teams. And then I saw someone on Twitter ask him, like, hey, you're advancing one of your 150 baseball teams. And he said, oh, yeah, I auto drafted them, but I won't do that for football, which is just ironic because he used to be the auto draft guy for football. So we're not worried about it. We ain't worried about it. Hello, Nick. Hope you're not a student of mine. 30% Debo. Not crazy, man. Debo bet feels a lot better after Brian Robinson Jr. stuff. Are there different edges in slow drafts versus fast drafts? I mean, probably, man. If I had to choose one edge-wise, I would choose fast drafts, right? But ultimately, just get in there, man. Just get in there and draft your teams. Do what fits your life schedule best. Sam. Okay, let's go Amon-Ra. Just because we know most people are afraid of Puka. Let's see what T. Moncare does. I have no idea of my exposure in these big dogs. But, Amon-Ra nutted week 17 matchup. Okay. Rips Puka in our face. Drake London. Pretty easy click for me right now. Brian Thomas Jr. Gonna put an article out tomorrow on the risky players and what to do with them, right? Because my rankings at beatbestball.com do not perfectly encapsulate, like, oh, what do I do with Joe Mixon? What do I do with Quinshon Judkins? What do I do with Achan now that he's maybe hurt? What do I do with blank? What do I do with blank? Let's look at my big dog starts to get an idea. Looks like this one, we did Nico London. This one, we did Saquon Bowers. This one, we did, oh, God, Joe Mixon. But Traven Henderson, balance. This one, we did Jeanty Brian Thomas. This one, we did Gibbs. Oh, my God. Mario Hampton, pick 54. I got a lot of Hampton in high stakes, particularly the 555. I've also done a similar number there, but I have quite a bit of Hampton in the fifth there, including one team I unfortunately fell asleep and auto-drafted. Happens. But I did have great values of ADP on that one. So this one went Gibbs, Bowers. Getting a lot of Bowers in the high stakes. This one went Neighbors, Achan. And this one went Gibbs, Ladd, Chase Brown. Mike Williams. Shout out. We're going to win the big dog with Mike Williams as a courtesy to Mike Williams. Thank you for the memory, sir. Could you have retired in May? Yes. Did I need to draft you this year? No. Yeah, this is the thing about the high stakes tournaments, right? They are higher buy-ins, and they're, it's hard to get to the finals, but you get a big payout if you do get there, right? So perfectly reasonable to me if someone was like, you know what, I don't really have the time to draft 150 teams from May to September this year, but I want to get $2,000 of action down in best ball, draft 4 big dogs or do something else. Nick, man, some wisdom here. We're all students of yours in best ball, brother. Have I ever looked back on my big board teams? Very, very, very rarely. What's my overall Najee exposure? Quite low. Just not a player I like, but I had 0% before he fell to picks 160 plus. I have been drafting him, though, occasionally at those prices. It's not a guy I get jazzed about, Can you help my cope with all my highest exposure guys getting cheaper? Rice, Reed, Brees, Puka. Okay, well, Puka is going to be fine. That's just the market being donkeys. Rice, man, I like no one, this is going to be in the article, but no one knows what's going on with Rice. No one. Okay, maybe Roger Goodell does. Jaden Reed, I tend to think he'll be fine. And luckily for you, an underdog, and me, because I drafted a lot of him, he went from the 6-7 turn to the 7 and 8. So no functional difference. On DraftKings, there is a functional difference because he went from the 6-7 turn to the 8-9. Of course, underdog's just a sharper market. Brees. Man, it's not great that he went from the 3-4 turn to, in my pre-recorded video today, he went pick 55. So it does seem like he's going to be at the 5-6 somewhat. The majority of him, though, is at the 4-5. And on it, just because people feel bad about it doesn't mean that Brees can't be a smash, especially in the individual week. Like the market felt bad about Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs shoved it down our throat. Yeah, we're gonna get some football up there, Adam. I mean, Rice, man, Rice could get suspended 0 games. He could get suspended next year. It's very weird. Yeah, Samson Ford. I mix these guys in general, just not just. I mean, I can't get over you having one of my thumbnails as your YouTube photo. YouTube, come for this man. Come for this man. Copyright infringement. Do I look at week 14 matchups? Why would we be looking at week 14 matchups? Unless you play on the FFPC, are you perhaps asking about week 15? Week 15, the first week of the playoffs. Because week 14 is just the last week of the season. That week is not important. Unless you're like, you know what I need to do? I need to go from advancing 0 teams to 150 teams week 14. We get it all back. Dude, the flute looks hideous. People would be like, what the heck is that? And it's also broken. It still works, but ADP does not update in these eliminators, I think, Scott. Ooh, I want both of them. I do want both of them. I kind of feel like this guy's watching the stream. He did do some week 17 correlation. Also like Kittle. Man, there's no wrong answers with my rankings here. Let's do Cook. Why not? Honestly, I'm happy with any of these players. We'll let this guy make our decision for us. What do you got, TM Longacre? I mean, your guess is as good as mine on that one. Daniels, that's fair. Okay. I was about to ask, is this guy autoing, but no. Okay, Big Mike, love him. Kittle, love him. Henderson, like him. Let's do Big Mike, man. Big Mike is stud, and yeah, I don't know, folks. The Chris Godwin stuff, it sounds bad. He's just like, from my understanding, he's not running. So should he even be ranked ahead of Brandon Ayuk at this point, who we've at least seen run? I don't know. Go Sutton. Oh my God, Tolan. We are not doing a main event together if you're trying to jam Sutton at the 3-4 turn. Chances that Anthony Richardson starts the money weeks. That stuff's very weird. Daniel Jones sucks. We all know it. I don't know. My guess is that the coach is trying to optimize for not getting fired rather than doing what's best for the franchise. And so maybe he figures like you play Daniel Jones, you tell the owner this is our best shot to win early and analyze our team. And then you bench him for Richardson and you tell the owner, you know what, he just needed a little bit of time. And then if Richardson doesn't work out, you get fired. Do I have a lot of James Cook? Yes, I do. I have Jaden Daniels is maybe he's gonna go up because of the preseason game, but again, there should be no gap between him, Allen, Lamar. Dude, quit bragging that you're always on the treadmill here. All right, mister? I remember that comment yesterday. No, I'm just kidding with you. Enjoy the workout. I just did a quick workout. Man, I've been big on Otten this whole time. But yeah, gotta bump him up even more. In general, we're doing a $500 draft here, gentlemen. We're not going to answer too many functional late round rookie changes or late round ranking changes in a draft with other people watching me, probably. Thank you, big boy. F- thumbnails, B- titles. Built this channel brick by brick. Tampa Bay deceived us on Goodwin. So I was listening to Stefania Bell, and something she said, which seems logical, is because I got duped by the contract stuff. Like, I personally, going into the year, I was like, this feels bad. This man broke his foot. Like, why does he go so much higher? But I was drafting him somewhat, slash quite a bit, because I like the Bucks. Like, I wasn't like jamming him, but I was like, okay, I guess he's just fine. Like, everyone was trying to pay him a lot of money. And what probably happened is he realized he would not have passed the physical for the Patriots, and that's why he took the hometown discount. And the Bucks just want to be goodwill, blah, blah, blah. Ken Walker, by the way, goes pick 54 in this. High variance on him. Brees Hall in a big dog goes pick 55. That makes these middle picks so much better. Like, when you can get these type of guys here, Ibuka goes 57. Let's look at one of our big dogs. We for sure have some Ibuka. Ibuka going within a round of Big Mike. Is it crazy? I don't know. Well, not really too, Jarrett. They said that, who might be back for the playoffs? Godwin. And then they did pay him a lot of money. So that is saying something without saying something. Travis Hunter goes. Bummer. This guy needs running backs, but I don't care. I would like one of those running backs, but I'm not willing to pass on Zay Flowers. I'm simply not. Again, Zay Flowers scores like 4 more touchdowns, and he is a smash. Yeah, we kind of knew that would happen. Right? Whatever, man. We're just going to build 0 RB here. Rizzy Pearsall, welcome to the squad. Power Cook, Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Evans, Flowers, Pearsall. I do think it would have been responsible to take one of these guys, but being responsible doesn't necessarily win, And with this group, Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Mike Evans, Zay Flowers, Ricky Pearsall, defensible group to just straight up stop at 5 if I felt like it. We'll probably get a 6th in there at least, but is it bad to draft Puka and Devontae on the same team? It's not bad. It's not good. It is not something I would do a lot. It can work, but in general, yeah, it's kind of expensive. Who cares if Godwin and Ayuk missed the beginning of the year? Aren't we drafting for December, not September? Well, here's the thing, JR. I'm inclined to agree with that train of thought because that's how I think. However, we do need to recognize that for both of these guys, it is possible this year is their Tony Pollard year. This year is their Mark Andrews year, etc. AKA this is their recovery year, and it's really not, they don't even look like themselves until next year. That's in the range of outcomes. So there's no guarantee we get those points in December. You know what I mean? I'm the best Q&A with the chat. Yeah, but man, we're trying to grow the channel. So we gotta get those in. All right, let's find one with Igbuka at, I'm sure, pick 100 or whatever. No, but Rizzy Pearsall pick 82, Diggs 87. This squad is nice. Ibuka pick 91. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Gibbs, Bowers, Marvin, Tet, Hampton pick 54. This is a big dog, folks. Jennings 67, Rizzy Pearsall 78. So yeah, I had like no Pearsall for some reason in Best Ball Mania, but I have like I have like 4 teams with him in the big dog. Egbuka picked 91. The Hampton Egbuka combo, how are you gonna beat it? Purdy 102, of course. Bad CLV on Janu, who cares? Kirk, very nice. Tootin, nice price. Bryce and Cam Ward, such a good team. We didn't want to risk not having 3 quarterbacks. Thielen, Miles Sanders, DJ Giddens, Keaton Mitchell, all players still getting drafted. That squad's pretty nice. Like, where's it weak? You gonna call it tight end? No. What's its weakest position? Running back? Well, it's got Gibbs and Hampton. Quarterback? It's got 3 of them. Wide receiver? I don't think so. So yeah, that team is quite nice. My channel must just be like the worst thing for someone just waking up to fantasy football to wake up to. Because they're like, what the hell? This guy's like scrolling between old drafts, blah, blah, blah. Okay. If anyone thinks I win best ball contests because I get easy rooms, like that is so dumb. It's not even worth acknowledging. I did that one on stream. I think I got Buka pick like 100 in my main event. Best landing spot for B-Rob. I personally think the Bears. Texans obviously awesome too. Yeah, the turn is awesome, but like it does suck when it's like, oh, I would like this player, and it just gets scooped. Wow, Keon pick 81. Not even wrong. Ball nowhere. Does do it with Josh. Tier list videos. Oh man, Aaron Jones goes. All right, we got to jam 2 of these running backs. Team's too good not to jam 2 of these guys. Baker is also reasonable, but sure. I got a lot more Aaron Jones than Jordan Mason, so call that balance. We do have a Monra, so week 17 correlation. You might think it's not important in a 10-person final. It can actually go the other way, where you don't need to have like a 99.9 percentile outcome. You could win with like a 70 percentile outcome. Tier list and top 24 videos. I do need to do that. It is a really tough balance though, where I have all these hardos watching. Yeah, we're gonna take Tracy just straight up over Caleb Johnson. I've been Team Tracy, but I don't have as much in Best Ball Mania either. So I have him in several high stakes teams as balance. Again, Baker, very reasonable there with us having Big Mike, but I think the running back's the more responsible pick. And oh my god, man, Ja'Cory Cross-Gamera pick 88. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a big dog, but it is a little sticker shock. It's a $500 big dog. Now that I got tier list and top 24 videos. I mean, you're right, but it's just a tough balance for me to be like, you know who you guys should draft? Jamar Chase. you know. But you are right, like someone like Ron manages it, the flock manages it, so it's doable. Would you guys watch me make tier list videos? Let me know. I think Travis will have a better offensive career. I mean, I'm gonna be real. JCM, he looked a little pedestrian to me last night. I went back and watched the tape. However, obviously his upside is huge. It's also quite possible that he's just the RB2, 3, whatever. The Commanders could trade for a running back too. Like they could trade for Breece Hall and trade away Brian Robinson, Dude, Ron's chat is brutal, man. If you go and watch the stream thing we did together, like most of the comments are like, I hate that guy. Like, man, it was like late at night. I didn't even really talk that much. Yeah, I mean, this is like so in the range. I'm gonna put that tweet out actually. People have always kind of liked Chris Rodriguez. Breece Hall on the Commanders would low key be like a very bad beat for me because I've not been drafting too much Breece. I do want to pack my bags with Breece Hall in the 5th. But it honestly, like, it's logical. Like, explosive player, Jets are over him. Like the Commanders just want someone dynamic next to Jaden Daniels, which makes sense, right? Like Josh Allen has James Cook, Lamar Jackson has Derrick Henry, Jalen Hurts has Saquon. The Commanders want a guy who can they're pressured by the rushing ability of Jaden and his quarterback abilities, and they want a guy who can just take the ball and go run 80 yards and score. Yeah, Underdog's been unbanned in Godwin 100. Beretta James isn't afraid. So Purdy would have been nice, but yeah, goes to the Jennings drafter. Jennings picked 74, by the way. Oh no, that's normal. I don't know what I'm talking about. Ignore me. Let me focus here. Okay, we do have quarterbacks still that makes sense. Now, a question we have to face ourselves with is this guy lost Purdy as well, so we're probably never getting him. But we have Brian Thomas and he has Hunter. So basically, if we want Goff and Brian Thomas, we need to double tap them now. They both have week 8 buys, which not really great either. Because maybe he goes Caleb, but like he's not gonna be comfortable with Stafford, I bet. Like he's just certainly gonna go T-Law here. Are we gonna do anything about it? Okay, goes Travis C. Oh, Baker. I wasn't even paying attention. Baker solves all our issues. We go Baker. I don't know why I thought Baker was gone. And then, we get a week 8 by quarterback and we call it a 2. Who cares? Just ripping Naked Bo seems fine too. Not a guy I've drafted a lot. Yeah, here's the risky running backs. I think this is reasonable for B-Rob. Whatever, man. Obviously, Bo is a better pick in a vacuum. And I do think it's quite likely we would have got Goff here, but reasonable thing to do. Baker, Goff, Cook, Mason, Tracy, Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Evans, Flowers, Pearsall. Sometimes these high stakes room behave normally at quarterback. Sometimes like everyone falls over themselves to draft it. They have a good mix of playoff games too. Tampa rocking with home against Atlanta, good weather. At Carolina, probably good weather. At Miami, good weather and like the worst secondary in football, I guess. Detroit, at Rams, good weather. Home against Pitt, dome. At Minnesota, dome. So yeah. Yeah, and I kind of knew he would go Caleb, and he's probably going Trevor here. So basically, we could have gambled on him on Raw, but then this joker over here probably takes him. So feels fine. And I'll probably stop at 2 quarterbacks unless there's like a third that speaks to me. If Trevor's here, maybe I'd do a third. What scenario does double elite quarterback work? One quarterback scores 30 points 2 weeks in a row. The other guy scores 5 points that week for whatever reason. And then week 17, the one who scored you 30 points scores 5. And so in like the rest of the field scores under 20. And the elite quarterback you snuck in is only owned by you, and he scores 45 points. Something like that. Yeah. The Laporta Williams drafter, we're never getting Goff by him. I have Goff higher ranked than guys I think will outscore him because I value his week 17 matchup quite high. Yeah, honestly, Goff Baker feels good. 2 guys I've drafted a ton of. What's funny is I think Caleb Williams straight up outrushed Bo Nix. He just didn't get any rushing touchdowns. 430 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns for Bo. Caleb, more rushing yards, no rushing touchdowns. So he's not viewed that way, you know? Have I drafted any 555s on DK? Yeah, I entered that earlier. I think I have a similar amount here. Have streamed some too. Goff Baker, awesome week 14 matchups. I'm fact checking you. I have to do this to find out their week 14. So they play the Rams week 15, Cowboys week 14. Why does this guy love week 14? Do we ever get an answer? Saints week 14. So we're going to be not advancing. We're going to come from behind from some big performances from the boys. Yeah, this isn't how EV works, Blake. He asks, aren't 555s just way more expected value than big dogs because the top prize is 1 million instead of 200K? That's not how expected value works, right? Just because a prize is bigger doesn't mean the EV is bigger. Right? Like obviously this is a smaller contest. The finals is smaller, right? It's probably easier to get to the finals. There's different things at stake. Yeah, so T-Law goes. Man, we need the running back most. First and foremost, we need the running back. Ramondre, Tank, they're both reasonable. Let's do Ramondre this time. Just because Henderson's awesome doesn't mean Ramondre can't be like the David Montgomery of the Patriots. Probably Gabe Davis the year I won BBM2 at 60%. Tank goes. I would have taken him too. I think we need the running back more. So we're going to go Tootin. Kind of a good combo, Tootin with the Ramondres and Tracy's. Like if these guys are nothing later in the year, hopefully Tootin is by then. So fun squad. Baker, Goff, Cook, Mason, Tracy, Stevenson, Tootin, Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Big Mike, Zay Flowers, Ricky Pearsall. Gabe Davis gonna try out for the Bills. Not sure he's gonna pass the physical, but he's a logical guy to go there. Bills are dealing with a ton of wideout injuries. The Bigsby correlation, I did consider it. I just was playing 80. Like I wanted to go Ramondre plus Tank. And me, like I'm still super high on Tootin, so I'm very okay going Ramondre and Tootin instead. And I knew if I won Tank, I was not getting Ramondre. So basically, this was the best way for me to get two guys I liked. And I have a ton of Tank already. Who has more upside, JCM or Tootin? I mean, theoretical upside, Tootin. Realistic upside, I think you would say JCM, just in the sense that his path to being the RB1 is less. How do I feel about Shakir? That'll be fine early in the season. Steelers for Gabe Davis might speak to how they view Roman Wilson. Obviously, the Bills and Gabe know each other more. Why was it $3 million to win BBM 2 years ago and now $2 million? Well, 3 years ago was one of the worst design contests of all time, where it was like $3 million to first and $30K to 10th. And they did a much better job at flattening out the payouts. This is good for us. You do not want first prize to be $3 million and 10th place to be $25,000. You want first prize to be $2 million, 10th place to be $700,000. You know, you want to get a lot of money for still accomplishing something very difficult and beating so many teams. So the flatter the payouts, generally the better it is for you and for the ecosystem. Right? Like I got a team that had 33rd last year in Best Ball Mania. That got $50,000. And honestly, the regular season prizes that they did is a bad change to me. That's taking money away from the finals. And hopefully Underdog realizes that no one really wants that. Look at their marathon fill rate, 40%. It's not a perfect 1-to-1 because who's maybe the marathon, maybe because there's a regular season prize. That's why the marathon has a low fill rate, yada, yada. But yeah. Demario Douglas, quite like him as a late guy. Has the Kincaid hate gone too far? Almost certainly, yes. Right? Like, could he bust again? Sure. But like, and mainly his bust outcomes would just be like the health of his knee. But he certainly could just be the best pick on the board for the Bills pass catchers. Pretty fall slide for Ray Davis there. I'm not chasing Braylon Allen up boards. I drafted a ton of him in the 180s, 200s. I'm just not doing this too much. %0 of the regular season is what it's usually been. I think most people understand that if you're playing Best Ball Mania, your goal is to get a team to the finals. If you play a home league, do you get rewarded because you scored a lot of points in the regular season? No, you do not. Right? Sure. If other people are going to be cowards about Trey Harris, we will not. Second round pick. I know he played behind KLS, but still seems fine to me. And just because someone was asking about Demario Douglas, we're gonna do it. If someone didn't, I would have done like Grendo probably, because I love Grendo. But seems fine too. Good balance here. Yeah, like if you play your home league and you scored the most points weeks 1 through 13, are people paying you? No. You win your home league if you make the finals, and sometimes if you get third place. People understand this, you know? Don't you like drafters though? That's a different thing, right? Like if you want to play total points, yeah, play a total points contest. Don't take $2 million out of the prize pool for Best Ball Mania and make this regular season. Like, don't make it both things, you know? If you want to pay like whatever, the top 10 people 20 grand because they had an awesome team and it makes them feel good, fine. But don't take so much money out, you know? Well, the marathon is not popular on Underdog because people would rather play drafters where there's more money there and whatnot, you know? Appreciate the super chat, Nick. What's the most important managed league you take part in? You talking about money-wise, Simon, or something more important? Bragging rights. Bragging rights, it's the league I commission with my college buds. Money-wise, it's on the FFPC. Shout out you, Jack. Went to my first rugby practice today. Had no idea what I was doing. Jack, what's the stats, man? I need age, weight, height. Age, weight, height. Well, obviously the money would mean most, Simon, but yeah, the home league. That's a fun idea, Chad. They should make it like a casino bonus game. Can tick a box and pay $5 more and have that pool fund a season-long side contest for only the teams that paid. That's a super fun idea. I'm sure they can't do it legally, but okay, Jack. Jack's a young buck, 24, 230, 6'4". My God, dude, Jack, you are an effing unit. Are you now, Jack? The question is, are you like a fast 230? Because it sounds like you're either like a beast of a back or more likely you're a forward. Right? Let's pull up the rugby positions here. Dude, I didn't know shit brick houses watched my channel. Let's try to look at it like a scrum or something here. Okay, this is kind of good. Wide-ranging content on this channel, guys. So, the guys with the lower numbers, these are the forwards. The middle guys like the hooker. There's the other guys are the props. These are kind of like your bulldogs. These guys in the back are usually your tall guys. They push the scrum. This is your scrum half. This is a little guy, good at passing, scrappy guy. Your number 8, he's kind of like a merge between the forwards and the backs. The backs are more like these are running backs, these are linebackers, these are wide receivers. 11 and 14 are your wings. They're the fastest guys on the field usually. 15's your fullback. He like catches the ball, last line of defense. And 10, usually one of your better players, fly half. And these are your inside and outside centers. So my guess, Jack, is like if you're fast, you're one of these guys, but more likely you're probably one of these dudes. Had me at forward today. It makes sense, you know, like there's just not many men who are big guys. So if you are, they're probably just like, look, you're forward. Okay, what are we doing? We need some tight ends. We did not get Kate Otten, which would have been nice. This guy is Ferg, so we're gonna take Janu. The last hope. Otten went here. He went double Ravens. We're gonna take Will Shipley. Feels good. I'm drafting Jack in my home league. I can't get over how funny it is that no one knew Ricky Person and who that was a couple days ago, and then he got tryout with the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, Jack, watch a YouTube video, man. Watch a YouTube video of both like just a breakdown and also watch one of just like the New Zealand team, the Irish team, whatever, you know. You'll pick it up quick. Would I do a content redraft league with Davis and Co? I would definitely do that, Jack. That's a great idea, actually. Passing with your left hand is actually quite hard in rugby. I don't think the Bills owners have a son. They have a daughter, though, who is a professional tennis player. Thoughts on Isaac Tesla? Perfectly reasonable to draft on correlated teams. Well, I don't have Jaden, but yeah, he's a good click. Okay, so our team is Baker, Goff, James Cook, Jordan Mason, Tyrone Tracy, Ramondre, Tootin, Shipley. We're done at running back. Good mixture of guys who will like play early and then just like unheralded upside. Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Big Mike, Zay, Pearsall, Harris, Douglas, Janu. I think I'm going to make the last two picks in the tight end. Go 3 tight end. You know, if Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Big Mike, Zay, Ricky, like if these 5 aren't good and or really just like a couple of them, you know, what's an extra guy going to do? And then I got like the Trey Harris, Demario Douglas is just, it's a good mix where it's like Douglas is getting his points early. Hopefully by late, Trey Harris is, again, he was a second round pick. We don't have a ton of week 17 correlation, but that's fine. If your most drafted player is a smash pick now, how much does that increase advance rates? Like, are you talking about like he went up in price or he actually smashes? Because, I mean, there's like so much context there that's impossible to really answer that. What was the expectation, Cole? I got to ask you. What were you expecting me to say to that? 7.5%. Come on, man. Harold Fannin? Yeah, he's reasonable. Okay, if I want a third quarterback, Rodgers is also there. But I think I value the tight ends more. Now, Rodgers is also, okay, he is there. Because I do have Janu, right? But I think I just would rather have a third tight end on this team. Yeah, Theo, simply a starting tight end. That's the thing about taking tight end late is, you know, you could just get guys who are simply starters. Okay, Darren Waller, week 17 correlation. I don't have any Darren Waller. I mean, no one has Fant. Juwan, it's fine. Schultz, it's fine. Higbee, I kind of like Higbee. AJ Barner, he's fine too. Why not? Who's drafting AJ Barner? I think Rodgers probably makes it more likely that this team would have made the playoffs. And Barner is more of a bet of like, well, how do I actually advance in a playoff week and win the contest? Hopefully it is, AJ Barner falling in the end zone. So tough call there. Rodgers was also reasonable in this 3 quarterback meta fever. Baker and Goff, Cook, Mason, Tracy, Ramondre, Tootin, Ship, Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Big Mike, Zay, Pearsall, Trey Harris, Douglas, John Theo, Barner. Well, yeah, the thing about taking 3 of them is that you just hope to have an extra chance of getting a guy to score a touchdown versus 2, Now, Barner's, maybe you're talking about your personal owning, but he's owned way more, less than that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. When we do this higher stakes draft, we do not want to do a longer stream. If you want to see, the 30-second clocks, this draft took 50 minutes. This is like 20 extra minutes than a normal 20-second clocker. I uploaded a pre-recorded team earlier today of me drafting a Best Ball Mania. If you want to check that out, even if you don't, go over and look at it, interact with it, drop a comment. Appreciate you. Let me know what you think about this team in the comments. When I end the stream, have a great day. We'll have updated rankings for drafters soon. Updated rankings for Underdog and DraftKings hit the site today. And I'm going to have a article hit the site tomorrow, beatbestball.com. Stream tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Peace out.